Hello everyone, Tim Game here, and today I have the pleasure of bringing you another one of my Call of Duty Black Ops 2 commentaries. Now this commentary is going to be all about the Peacekeeper, but as you can see I am playing a hardpoint game on the map Mirage. And before I talk about the weapon, I just want to talk about Mirage a little bit, because you know, in my first impressions video a couple of days back I was talking about how I hadn't really got to grips with the map and how it feels a little bit weird. And it is a little bit weird because, as you can see here, most of the gunfight areas on this map are pretty close range, but the map itself is massive. If you actually try and get from one side of the map to the other, because it's so convoluted and there's loads of different levels, it takes absolutely ages. So it can be quite slow paced, and then all of a sudden you run into a lot of enemies at close range and you're taken a bit by surprise. So that definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, but it is an interesting map. The domination setup on it especially is very, very interesting, because you often have people immediately rush to that alley in between A and C and battle it out there, and then whoever loses that tries to run to B while the winner tries to push through and cap A or C depending on which side won. So the dynamic of the map is very, very interesting, but I'll talk about the maps in more detail as I push through. Today's commentary, I really want it to be on the Peacekeeper, because I absolutely love this weapon. I love the Peacekeeper. I've been doing super well with it. I think it's actually my second highest KD weapon at the moment. So, I've been going mental with it. And it isn't just, playing against good, bad players. I've been using it in the full spectrum. I've been using it against good players in all situations and all the maps. And I absolutely love it. But just like Mirage, it's quite a strange weapon, this, in that it's not a traditional SMG. It isn't ultra dominant at close range. If you look at the MSMC or the PDW or the Vector, the Scorpion to a lesser extent, they're all very, very good at ultra close range. You turn the corner, you spray a guy down, and they drop. There's no questions asked, they just die. The Peacekeeper, that doesn't happen so often. It's got a bit of a slower rate of fire, as you can see from that little spray there. I think I failed to hit anything. But you're not going to win those ultra close range gunfights a lot, especially against MSMCs or the top tier SMGs or a shotgun. But what it will be every single time is an assault rifle. So it is competitive at close range. You're not going to get completely dumped on by everything. As you can see there, that was quite a close range kill. Mowed him, no problem. So if you're accurate with this weapon, it is pretty good at close range. But where it really comes into its own is the medium and long range, because this weapon has no recoil. It has absolutely no recoil. And I didn't really like the iron sights to begin with, but as I've used the weapon more, I've got used to them, and I have to say I'm pretty well suited to them now, because I don't like sights that obscure my vision over medium range. So it was a little bit complicated. You've got to really look through the sight better than in other ones where it's quite clear, but I've got used to them now, so they're pretty good. They're not too bad at all. So what I like to run instead is the long barrel, because the long barrel helps with kills just like that one there. It increases the maximum effective range of this thing by quite a substantial amount, so it turns it into even more of a mid-range beast. And the great thing is, because it has no recoil, the Peacekeeper is really competitive up to long range as well, so you can take assault rifles on at medium and long range very, very nicely like that. And that guy had no hope at all, and just step up again, spray the guy mid-range, no problems whatsoever. It's a really, really good weapon to do that. And my second attachment helps with that as well. I like to run the quick draw on this weapon too, because in those medium to long range gunfights, it's all about getting that first bullet on target. If you can do that and the guy doesn't have toughness, for example, he's already flinching back, he's looking at the ceiling, he's not going to be able to shoot you effectively. So the ability to get that first bullet on target is key in medium to long range. So that's why I like to run the long barrel quick draw. It turns it into an absolute monster at mid range, and it's really accurate. It's got a decent close range potential as well. I mean, you see me get plenty of kills at close range. If you're accurate with it, people drop at whatever range you use. So I am loving the Peacekeeper. It is slightly a hybrid weapon. It sort of falls in between an assault rifle and a standard submachine gun, but it is a really good weapon. If you haven't given it a try yet, or you haven't got the Revolution DLC, getting it for the Peacekeeper is probably a good thing, because this is the first time I've ever done a weapon releasing a DLC, and the weapon is really, really interesting to use. It's something slightly different. It's not just a reskin of the normal earlier weapon. It's a completely different weapon. It feels different, and you can use it in many different ways. So it's definitely been interesting to use it. I've been very, very impressed with how it's performed, and it fits my playstyle very, very well. But guys, The commentary's slowly coming to an end here. As you can see, we absolutely destroyed these guys. 250 points to 1 in Hardpoint. It would have been nice to get the flawless 250 points to 0, but hey, that's just being greedy, I guess. My final score is 27-0 flawless. You know, I was fairly close to a nuke, but it's not as close as you think, because I got quite a few lightning strike kills. They kept leaving. There was only 2 of them in the game at one point, and as you can see at the end of the game, there's only 4 of them left, so the randoms leaving unfortunately cost me a nuclear there, but never mind. Anyway guys, thanks again for watching. Really hope you've enjoyed it, and as always, have a great